province will erase the benefits of recognizing Quebec as a nation? The Honourable Minister of State.
Thanks, Mr. Speaker. The government's committed to fair representation across the country. What would be really helpful is if the opposition parties would help the government deal with this global economic recession. This government is making Canada, including Quebec, better by sound economic management. Come and join us, make Parliament work, and make Quebec stronger with all Canadians. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
For an end to this project.
The
Honourable Minister of State.
Speaker, I have to say that we will ensure that there is fair representation across the country. And as far as the Quebec ministers go, these ministers and MPs from the government side have done more for Quebec in the 3.5 years that we've been in government than the 18 years the Bloc has been president in Parliament. So I think that we all deserve to say thank you to our Quebec members from Parliament. They do more between them than the entire Bloc has done in their entire history. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The request from the National Assembly of Quebec. The Honourable the Minister. The Honourable
the Minister for Democratic Development.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to speak to this point. We are committed to ensuring that representation in the House of Commons is fair. We are committed to ensuring that the number of seats in Quebec are protected. And I would like to point out to the House that if the Bloc ever achieved its number one objective, Quebec would have no seats in the House of Commons.
Quebec with respect to national institutions.
Democratic reform.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the member is pulling numbers out of thin air. The government has not brought forward any numbers. In regard to Quebec's representation in the House of Commons, all Federalist parties will guarantee that Quebec is well represented in the House of Commons. The only party who does not want Quebec represented in the House of Commons is the Bloc. I think all members, all federal members, agree that this country is the greatest country in the world, united.
Oblige all voters to go to the polling station with their faces uncovered. Order, please.
Mr. Speaker, I think that we all agree that Canadians should have confidence in the political system. And if we can get agreement from the opposition parties, including the Liberal Party, to deal with this issue, we will bring in legislation to ensure that there's integrity in the voting process when it comes to visual identification.
The Honourable the Minister of State.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the government did bring a bill in the last Parliament, but we received resistance from the opposition parties. But if the opposition parties are agreeable in this minority Parliament to bring and support the government in bringing a bill to deal with this issue, we'll bring in a bill because we believe in the Canadian democracy. And I'm pleased, actually, that the Bloc is starting to buy into the Canadian democracy, too.